I'm Ellen Harper, 56, and this is the story of how one wedding day text turned me from the family's reliable shadow into the woman who finally stepped into the light. I raised Mason after his father died in a trucking accident when he was 5. I worked nights as a hospital janitor, days as a bookkeeper, and still found time to coach his little league team. I never missed a game, a parent night, a heartbreak. When he got into state college, I took extra shifts to cover tuition. When he started his landscaping business, I co-signed the loan he couldn't get alone. I never asked for credit. I just wanted to belong. Mason met Sophia 2 years ago. She was polished, private academy, old money, the kind of ease that comes from never worrying about bills. Her parents, Lydia and Warren Ellsworth, hosted brunches in their hilltop estate with views of the valley. They smiled at me over linen napkins, but their eyes always measured. I wore my Sunday best, brought homemade rolls, and laughed at jokes I didn't find funny. Mason started changing. He visited less. When he did, conversations were clipped. He stopped inviting me to Sunday dinner. I told myself it was normal, new love, busy life. Then came the wedding planning. I offered to help with the garden flowers, the seating, anything. Mason said, "Sophia's family has it covered, Mom." I wasn't asked to the venue tour. My name wasn't on the save the date. I pretended not to notice. The text arrived the morning of the ceremony. I sat on my porch, coffee cooling, bouquet of supermarket roses in my lap. I felt the old reflex rise. Don't make waves. Be there understanding, Mom. But something stopped me. Not rage. Resolution. I didn't reply. I showered, put on my simple navy dress, and drove to the venue anyway. The estate was packed. Cars lined the drive. Guests milled on the lawn in pastels and pearls, confused. No music played. No bride appeared. Inside the tent, tables were set, linens, candles, place cards, but bare. No flowers. No cake. No arch. Lydia stood center stage, phone to ear, voice shrill. Warren paced. Sophia sat in her gown, veil askew, mascara streaked. Mason looked hollow. Guests whispered, "Where's the groom's mother?" I walked in. The tent quieted. Lydia saw me first. Her mouth opened, closed. "Ellen," she said, "this isn't." I looked at Mason. "You asked me not to come." Mason stood, pale. "Mom." I turned to the crowd. "I'm Ellen Harper. Mason's mother. I raised him alone. Paid for his cleats, his braces, his first truck. I was supposed to be here today." A murmur spread. I faced Lydia and Warren. "You told people I was difficult. That I declined to participate." Warren flushed. Lydia lifted her chin. "We were protecting your image," I said quietly. "Not your grandson." I looked at Mason. "You let them." Mason's voice cracked. "I didn't want drama. I wanted it perfect." I nodded. And perfect meant no mom who cleaned hospital floors. No mom who couldn't afford designer shoes. Silence. Sophia stepped forward. "Ellen, we can fix." "No," I said. "You don't fix people out of your story. You live with the space you made." I turned to the guests. "Thank you for coming. There won't be a wedding today. The vendors were cancelled. By me. Because this day was built on a lie that erased the person who loved Mason most." Gasps. Phones lowered. I looked at Mason one last time. "I'm proud of the boy I raised. But I won't stand quietly while you pretend I don't exist." I walked out. No tears in public. Just the crunch of gravel under my shoes. 6 months later, Mason's wedding never happened. Sophia ended it, said she couldn't marry into that kind of deception. Lydia and Warren downsized after a quiet scandal about family values. Mason moved home for a while. We talk, slowly, carefully. He asks questions now. Listens. I still work my shifts. Still live in my small house. But I bought fresh flowers every week, just because. Some call me unforgiving. I call it unbroken. Because the day they asked me to vanish from their perfect picture, I finally stepped fully into mine. And the view from here? Worth every seat I stopped saving for people who never saved one for me.